If you're looking for ways to get into a lotus pose, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Alexia and I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga studio owner, and in this channel I offer tips and advice for anyone on their yoga journey. So if you feel that this is something you'd like to know more about, then subscribe to this channel. So one thing worth mentioning is that yoga came all the way from India. Now in India, people sit on the floors a lot more than we do in the West. And so there, their hips are much more open, so lotus comes much more easier to them. And so if lotus is a pose you'd like to work on, my first tip is to try to sit on the floor more than you probably do. So either sit in this pose, and if this is a bit too much, you could even sit cross-legged. But sitting like this really will help to open up your hips. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little before and after practice. So we're going to try to do our lotus pose. We're going to do a little sequence that is going to help open up the hips, and then we're going to do an after, and you might notice an improvement in your lotus or wherever you are working towards the lotus. But the first thing to point out is how not to do it. So what we don't want is to lift the leg and try to rotate it from here, because what we'll do is we might encourage the rotation to come from our knee, and this might end up damaging our knees. So if possible, never ever rotate your leg like this. All right, so let's see. Let's try out first our before. So let's get into lotus and we'll see what our before looks like. So bring your feet forward. The safest way to get into lotus is first straighten your legs in front of you. Okay, now let's bend the right knee and bring your right foot close to you, okay? So this way we're closing off the knee joint. And from here we're going to open up the leg to the right. And if this is okay, now we're going to bring our heel to our navel and bring the right foot into half lotus. Okay, now let's work on the left leg. So the left leg, we bring it in. If we want, we could always tuck it underneath the right leg, the right knee. However, if we're open enough, what we'll do is we're going to bring our left leg on top and we come into lotus pose. Now, if you're able to come here, great. If not, great, we're going to work on this. So this is our before. So we'll take a little picture. This is your before pose. Now, we're going to do the same on the other side, because for some people the other side is a bit easier. So again, straighten your legs. Left leg comes in. Open up the leg to the left, bring the heel to the navel, let the foot come down, and now if you want, bring the right foot in and see. If you want, you might want to tuck it underneath, or if you want to work on the full pose, then bring the foot up. And this is your full lotus on the other side, which feels quite weird to me because I normally work on the other side. So just again, take a little note how you're feeling in this pose. All right, so this is the before. Now let's do our little sequence. So this sequence is actually inspired by David Cowell, and he actually wrote this book, The Functional Anatomy of Yoga. So if you're interested in learning more about yoga anatomy and more about how to open up into certain poses, then this is a really good book to buy. And it's linked in the description box below. Okay, so now we're going to work into double pigeon pose. So I'm going to show how double pigeon pose can be done. If it's too much for you, especially in the knees, then I'm going to offer several variations. So let's see. The way we want to do double pigeon pose is I've got my right leg on top, so I've got my heel over my knee and my knee over my heel. Okay? Both feet are flexed. And this for me feels great. My knees are okay and my hips are okay, and I feel very comfortable here. If, however, this is a bit too much, one thing you could do is, for example, if your knee is quite up in the air, put a block and try to close the gap, or you might be a bit higher up. That's great. If this is great for you, perfect. If also this is a bit too much for you, then another way to make it a bit easier is we place the block in front of us and place your right foot on top of the block. And this is another really nice way to work in this pose. If, however, also this is a bit too much for you, then get a bolster. You could even use like a big pillow or a blanket if you roll it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit on top of the bolster and do the same. Put our right foot on top of the block. If this is great for you, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go back into my double pigeon pose and we'll work through our little series of movements. All right, so find your double pigeon pose, whatever variation you're doing. So what we're going to do is first we're going to bring our hands forward and we're going to see if we can move forward, and I'm going to count for 10 breaths here. If you feel any pressure in your knee, then place something underneath or just don't come so far forward. So come forward and we're going to stay here for 10 breaths. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and if it feels comfortable, we're going to walk to the left side here. So we're going to walk to the left. And you can let your head come down if you want. And of course, come as far forward as feels comfortable for you. 10 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, come to the center, and we'll do the same on the other side. So walk to the other side, and again, see how far forward you want to walk. 10 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to come to the center. 5 more breaths here. See if you want to walk a little bit forward. 5 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come up. Okay, straighten the legs. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Right foot underneath, left foot on top. Again, find the variation that works best for you. Hands forward. Again, walk as far forward as you want. 10 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we move to the right. 10 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come to the center, and same on the other side. 10 breaths here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and we come to the center, and again, 5 more breaths here, and if you want, you can always walk a little bit further forward. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now feet forward. Now let's check our after. You might feel a difference. Hopefully you will. If you do, let me know in the comments below. All right, so let's see. Right foot comes in. Open the right leg. Heel to the navel. Bring the foot in. You might feel it's a bit looser. Left foot comes in. If you want, always tuck it underneath. If you want, if it feels a lot comfortable, bring it in. So for me, this does feel like it's opened up a lot. All right, so now we'll try the same on the other side. So left foot comes in, open it up, heel to the navel, bring the right foot in and see whatever feels comfortable for you. If you want to come into Lotus, then come into Lotus. So this is a little exercise that you could do every day if you want, and it will really, really help to open up your hips. So if Lotus is a pose that you're working on, then I hope that you found this sequence helpful. If you did, consider liking this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.